Hello everyone, welcome back in this episode of Bitcoin Trade here. I got some really crazy lines going through, but I'll pull back a little bit, and this is um, Bitfin. I guess I'll start off with Bitfin because they've increased their volume, so they're on top. So I'll pull back. This is on a 12-hour time frame. So let me pull back, and there you go. There you see it. So it takes a while to see if there's any channel going up, and here's the channel that I got. So this is the channel that I'm seeing going up if there is an up possibility. So if I zoom in the way I like to see it, like this, I guess it kind of makes sense. I did this with some of the other charts, and we'll see what comes out. So here's Bitfin, and it pulled, it came down. Of course, this is just this right here. There's another line that goes down even further to I think even lower than that. So anyways, it seems to support something here and here and here, and so I can see the good strong bounce. Not sure if it's going to come down one more time at a higher low, but if it doesn't go down and it's a higher low, there's a good chance it's a good bounce back up. Could be, but we'll see. So right now this is where it is, and I want to talk a little bit about the price of Bitfin, because I'm noticing that it's always higher. So it's kind of weird. It's sometimes I'll see Coinbase and Bitfin pair up, and then I'll see Bitfin and BitC pair up. I always see it's a rare occasion that you'll see Bitstamp and Coinbase not pair up, but it's happened. It's kind of like all over the place, and I have to admit, when I witness it, it's really strange to see what's going on. Is there arbitrage going on, or is there other things? I'm not sure. But anyways, a lot of things happening anyway in the market. So that's Bitfin. Let's go on to, I think Bitstamp would be in second now. So here's Bitstamp, and that's current price. And if I pull back on this one here, that's kind of what you're seeing. It's something a little bit simpler. So you're seeing like this small portion of it, and when I zoom in, that's kind of what you're seeing right there. That's kind of nice. So almost the same thing, they just react in different pricing levels now. And you know, what I noticed is when BitC and Bitfin start to get really close in price, when prices fall. So I can't imagine trying to arbitrage during a price fall. I guess you could in a price fall. If you were in a lower price exchanged and you bought some Bitcoins and you moved them over to the higher price, I don't know if that'd be any good, because the prices are falling by the time you sent the Bitcoins over. I don't think you would have made a really good gain, or it's possible. It's all timing. That's the thing about it. That's why I think it's so hard to do any arbitrage through the exchange that way. So, but you can still trade based on the arbitrage. So that's what I do. I trade based on the arbitrage. I don't actually do any arbitrage. I don't move my Bitcoins around, if that makes sense. So this one right here, When you look at this, it just kind of makes really nice, good sense. I see nice parallel lines. Yeah, I like seeing parallel lines. It just has a, it just tells me that there's something not random going on. I should say. That's the best way to put it. There's something not random going on. There's something that is, there's some movement in the market that's intentional in a direction. If, that's the only way, that's the best way I can explain it. That's why I like seeing these parallel lines. If they were just like, this was going here and then this one was just doing this, it just looks kind of weird. It's not the way I guess a price moves on a chart. Price don't move in a straight line. Obviously, it moves up and down, and but usually in a channel. And that's what I'm used to seeing. That's what you're seeing. So, um, so hopefully, I think there's still an up channel here, but you never know. And then we'll do BitC right here. And BitC's kind of interesting. Let me pull back. BitC's always been interesting. It always has a different story. So here I'm pulling back, and that way you kind of see everything. And what I've done is, this is the top line here, that you see the bounce here and here, and then go up, and then come back down here, and actually almost touch here, and then stop right here on this I guess line. So if you know where these lines come from my previous episodes, you'll understand. And the interesting part is, without this particular line here, all this would just be, wouldn't tell me that there's a more chance of moving up, because it's broken obviously out of here, and then it's also broken out of here as well, and it stayed above it based on this line. So when I look at BitC, it always tells me something so much different, and it actually tells me a little bit more sometimes than some of the other charts. So you can see this, it makes a lot of sense. So let me zoom in now, and so you can, oh, that's too much. And there we go. So now you get a better idea. So there's a lot of good support here. This is another supporting line. That's why I didn't really touch down here or any of this line. So there's a good chance that it's broken out. It's broken out. It's just coming back down, but it hasn't fallen below this line or even this line here. And it definitely hasn't fallen out of this line, which is the channel, these two channels going up. That's what I see anyway. So if it can maintain just up here, maybe it's just a matter of time before it pushes up a little. I don't know how the sale of Bitcoins in the market is going to make a difference. I'm thinking maybe not. I think a lot of these things that are being auctioned off may be used as reserve for a whatever, it'll be used as a reserve to start another trading platform somewhere in the world, maybe in America. So who knows? Anyways, this is what I see until I see otherwise. I just have to go with what's here. But of course, you can always, if you always have an idea of what's going on, you can always be there to push that button to sell or to buy, or to move your Bitcoins from an exchange to maybe your personal wallet or your personal storage of Bitcoins to somewhere else as maybe leverage. I mean, this is getting really interesting how things are turning out. Let me see what else. And then, oh yeah, Coinbase. And this is Coinbase, and I'll pull back from Coinbase, and this is kind of what you see. There's not really much here, so this is all I got to work with. But you kind of see the same thing, and you see the same scenario here, where you could see that it obviously shows it's breaking out here, and then but it's comes down to here where the support is from where it really broke out here on this again, this 12-hour, and it bounces up. It could just bounce for a little bit, but as long as it stays up here, there's a good chance, and as you watch this line rise as time goes on, we'll see if it's going to bounce off of this support line that's an up channel up here, and see if it bounces up from there. But sometimes it prematurely will do that because, well, a lot of people already know that it might bounce off here, so they're just going to go ahead and buy on the upswing. So could be that could be a scenario. You never know. And I'll do one more for Kraken. And Kraken is a little different. I mean, from what I've seen so far, it at certain times it pairs up with Bitsy, then Coinbase, Bitstamp, depending on where their prices are, and Kraken almost acts like all the exchanges put together. That's the best way I can explain it. The pricing movement is the same, maybe the pricing level is different, the same movement but different pricing, same pricing, different movement, etc. So, but it just adds to more information. So I can make a better trade both in real life and on the exchanges, and other things as well. I think I mentioned this before, where as a user I could trade my Bitcoins that I've made at a mined or gained at a high point, and I particularly like, instead of cash, I particularly like as a user gift cards. I really do, to a particular place that I know that's where I'm gonna go. And it's not because they are open to Bitcoins or they're not open to Bitcoins. It's just people are probably wondering, how do you live off of Bitcoins? Well, just like any other trade or asset or any other business that I ever lived off, I make the money off of my gains, and Bitcoins help me make gains, in which that's what I live off of. So I don't literally live on Bitcoin because it's just not quite there. When it gets there, I want to instead of buying a gift card, I want to just, before I even go out, it's kind of interesting. It's a different way of living, but it's some people already live this way. They already have a set idea of how much they're gonna spend, and their spending habits could be based on the value of the money's worth. All right, and so you see that here, and you could not spend when the value is kind of low, creating a demand, and as the price goes up, you can then maybe start spending because you're getting more value. So that's how I live off of Bitcoin. It's not, I don't try to use a Bitcoin to buy things all the time. We're not there yet. I would like to, at one point, and I believe it's going to be there, that you can either go to exchange or go to your private wallet or find some buyers, whatever you want to do, and you have something to do today, and you need some Bitcoins, or you need some money, or vice versa, whatever. In this world, you would just need Bitcoins, and you say, well, I need about $100 worth of Bitcoins, or $200 or $500, $1,000, whatever your lifestyle is, and you would just literally trade for them. And you can just go everywhere with your Bitcoins with your smartphone and spend it, because you already had a set mind of what you wanted to spend. or even to the point where you could be trading mobily, and spend. So you're trading and using and expending your bitcoins throughout the day, a certain amount, and that's a different way of living. It definitely is. So, anyways, let's go look at some other things here. Like I'll go through this real quick. This is Bitfin. This is basically a 10 period weighted average on 25 period weighted average, 5-day. I think it's hour. So unless if you all wanted to know, it's hourly. And there you go. So far, weighted average is just not doing much. I think it's gonna hit into something. It's gonna break. When I see this, it could mean a turn when I look at this particular chart, because I've seen that here's a downtrend here, and then it just comes up again, and instead of hitting back down, it floats to the side for a while. And sometimes as I see the range, the swings of these get smaller and smaller. A good indication for me of whether it's breaking out or breaking down is from the last high and from the last low. Where does the price move from there? Eventually it has to break out of those, up or down. So that's another thing to watch, early warning signs of price movement. Now just go over Bitstamp. And then Bitstamp has a totally different, really different thing. It's already crossed over. And so I've noticed another thing is that Bitfin has been lagging in price movement. So when I see all the other exchanges move downward, I notice Bitfin kind of stays higher, and then maybe later on starts falling downward, and vice versa. As the other exchanges move upward, I've seen Bitfin be paired and then move higher. So these could be other indicators for people who trade. So another thing is when all the exchanges kind of start pairing up really close within $1. That's when I like to just buy, sell, buy, whatever I'm trying to do during that time, because I get an equal pricing in all the exchanges. And then I'll finish off with this, and you see it's still mixed. Just looking at these, overall it looks like it's up, but Bitfin is averaging higher, so it has to maintain a higher price just to be above that 30-day average. So it kind of looks weird. I don't know if this is artificial, or if there really is some high demand here, or what's going on. But the volume says that there's a lot of Bitcoins going there. You just can't ignore that. And there's plenty of Bitcoins. And now if you look at the Bitcoin volume, there's a lot going on over here in China. And if you look at the price of China, they're even higher. And I have a little theory on that, is as banks start cracking down and the government start getting hostile, it's not really stopping. It doesn't seem like it's stopping people from trading. It just makes it more expensive to get that Bitcoin to trade, and that's why in this market it's higher, and they're looking for more Bitcoins to do whatever they want to do with. So that's why it's a higher demand. That's what I'm assuming anyway. So let me go on to a chart here. So here is the price of Bitfin, 594 or something, and then if you look here, there's a Chinese exchange at 598 versus BitC 592, Bitstamp right now 591, Coinbase is about 591. So just looking at this, and there's 37.27. So if I go to this 37.25, that's not really much of a difference. Very, very similar. So that's what it seems like it's going on there. You're seeing things that are closer around China, because Bitfin's around, I don't know where Bitfin is, Hong Kong or Singapore or wherever, but somewhere around China you'll start seeing higher demand and price, it almost seems like, than the other exchanges. Seems like it anyway. Don't know how true that is. That's just my opinion. I'm just speculating at this point. But there's a volume, and they've kind of gone up. All of them have kind of gone up. Although this has dropped. But even if you look at Bitcoin China, you'll see the price here and here are very similar to the other exchange. So it's a higher demand, higher price. I think it has a lot to do with trying to fund your account. Funding your account is harder, so there's more cost in doing these things in China anyway, or around China, and that's kind of spilling over to some of the other exchanges around that area. So, which could be good because it's just higher demand. It's kind of ironic. You want to stop something in that area, which makes it harder to get, which drives the price up, which actually makes it more attractive for people to invest, or put their money into, or try the hand at trading. It has an opposite effect almost, by restricting, trying to restrict and control the use of Bitcoin. So anyway, that concludes my episode here. Hopefully this helped you, and this is going to help you in your trades, and you have a better understanding of how to trade. So until next time, feel free to, and I'll end it off on Bitfin since they're the US dollar volume highest so far. So like, dislike, leave a comment, even do a video response. Till next time, stay tuned. Bye.